It's 11:47 at night. You've had a long day. On the way home, you decide you want one thing: a McFlurry. You open the McDonald's app. You find the closest restaurant. You tap the McFlurry, and then you see it. This item is currently unavailable. Fine, maybe that one location is having a bad night. So you check another McDonald's. Same thing, you check a third one, still unavailable. At this point, you already know what's going on. The ice cream machine is broken. Again, this isn't just an occasional annoyance anymore. It has become one of the most famous running jokes in American fast food. There are memes about it. There are entire social media accounts dedicated to it. There's even a website that tracks, in real time, which McDonald's locations have working ice cream machines and which ones don't. Think about how strange that actually is. Someone built a live tracking map just to answer one question: is the McDonald's near me selling ice cream tonight or not? McDonald's runs one of the largest restaurant networks on the planet. It can reliably produce millions of burgers, fries, and chicken sandwiches every single day. And yet one of the simplest items on the menu has somehow become a running mystery. For years, most people assumed there was an obvious explanation. Maybe the machines are badly maintained. Maybe employees don't know how to use them. Maybe the machines are just complicated. That last explanation actually has some truth to it. Because what McDonald's calls an ice cream machine is not a simple freezer. It's making something called soft serve, not traditional ice cream, and the machine has to do several jobs at once. It keeps the mix at a precise temperature. It freezes it. It pumps air into it to get that soft texture. And because it's handling dairy, health regulations require it to run a full cleaning cycle once a day, a cycle that can take several hours on its own. So sometimes, when a customer is told the machine is broken, the machine isn't destroyed at all. It might just be in the middle of its required cleaning cycle. It might have flagged an error, or it might be sitting outside its normal operating range. And here's the frustrating part. The machine usually shows nothing but a vague error code. So the employee behind the counter often has no real way to know what's actually wrong. And when that happens, there's usually only one option left: call a technician. That could mean waiting hours for someone certified to show up. It could mean waiting days for a replacement part. And it definitely means losing sales the whole time. The machine sits there, useless. But a few years ago, a small technology company showed up with a very simple idea. What if restaurant owners could actually see what was happening inside the machine? What if, instead of a mysterious error code, a manager could open an app on their phone and know exactly what had gone wrong? That was the idea behind a startup called Kytch. In 2019, two entrepreneurs, Jeremy O'Sullivan and Melissa Nelson, built a small device that clipped onto the front of the machine. It read the machine's internal sensors in real time: temperature problems, error codes, cleaning cycle status, early signs that a part was about to fail. Instead of treating the machine like a sealed black box, Kytch tried to make all of that information visible. Restaurant owners loved it. If you can catch a small problem before it shuts the whole machine down, you don't have to call a technician at all. You keep selling ice cream. According to Kytch's own account, by 2020, the company had become one of the largest independent technology providers working with McDonald's soft-serve machines nationwide. That sounds harmless, even helpful, but this small device was about to get pulled into a much bigger fight. A fight involving Kytch, the company that manufactured the machines, McDonald's corporate headquarters, and a much larger American debate about who actually gets to repair the equipment they paid for. And eventually, that fight would end up in federal court, with claims running into the hundreds of millions of dollars. So the real question behind McDonald's broken ice cream machines isn't just, why do these machines break so often? The more interesting question is, What happens when someone tries to make them easier to fix? In November of 2020, McDonald's corporate sent a notice out to its franchise owners. It warned them about third-party devices connected to their soft-serve machines, and it specifically named Kytch. McDonald's said using the device could create safety risks and could void the machine's warranty. For Kytch, this notice was close to a death sentence. Its entire customer base was McDonald's franchise owners, and now those owners were being told that using Kytch's product could be dangerous. Franchise operators pulled the devices almost overnight, and Kytch's business collapsed. But here's where the story gets stranger. Around that same time, the company that actually manufactured the machines, a company called Taylor, was quietly working on something that looked a lot like Kytch's own device. In 2021, Kytch sued Taylor. According to the lawsuit, people connected to Taylor had repeatedly tried to buy a Kytch device themselves, using different names and different email addresses to do it. Kytch alleges that Taylor eventually got hold of one and used it to study and reverse engineer the technology Kytch had built. It's important to say clearly that these are allegations made by Kytch in a lawsuit. Taylor has disputed how Kytch describes the dispute and has argued that whatever technology Kytch is trying to protect was never truly confidential to begin with. A court did allow several of Kytch's claims to move forward after reviewing the evidence, but that is not the same as a final ruling on who is right. As of now, the case is still working its way through the legal system. Then, in 2022, Kytch filed a second lawsuit, this time against McDonald's directly, seeking $900 million in damages. The lawsuit claims that McDonald's worked alongside Taylor to copy Kytch's technology and describes the situation as a kind of repair racket, where the company that profits from fixing the machines has little incentive to make them easier to fix. According to the complaint, Taylor holds the exclusive right to supply kitchen equipment to more than 13,000 McDonald's restaurants nationwide, and Kytch's filing claims that Taylor earns roughly $75 million a year from machine repairs and service contracts alone. Again, these are claims made in a legal filing, not facts a court has confirmed. McDonald's and Taylor have not simply accepted this version of events, and no final judgment has been reached in either case. But put the allegations aside for a moment, and a simpler question remains, one that doesn't depend on who eventually wins in court. Who actually controls a machine after a franchise owner buys it? The restaurant owner paid for it. It sits in their kitchen. Their employees operate it every day, but that owner can't simply swap it out for a different brand, and in many cases, can't even get an independent repair company to look at it. To understand why, you have to understand how McDonald's actually works as a business. Most McDonald's restaurants are not owned and run by the corporation itself. They're run by independent franchise owners, people who pay for the right to use the McDonald's name and who follow the company's rules in exchange. That includes the recipes, the branding, and yes, the approved list of kitchen equipment. There's a good reason for this. If every restaurant used a different soft-serve machine with a different cleaning process and a different set of parts, the whole system would fall apart. Training would get harder, repairs would get harder, and the product itself might taste different from one city to the next. Standardization is part of what makes a franchise system work at that scale. But standardization also creates dependency. When almost every restaurant in the country relies on the exact same machine, from the exact same manufacturer, a weakness in that one machine spreads across the entire network at once. And this is where the incentives start to look strange. The franchise owner is the one who loses money every time the machine goes down. The franchise owner is the one facing frustrated customers at the counter, but the company that actually profits from repairs isn't necessarily losing anything at all. This doesn't prove that any single person deliberately designed a machine to fail. It's more likely a case where a system that made sense, on paper, produced a strange result once every incentive was combined. McDonald's wants consistency across 13,000 restaurants. The equipment manufacturer wants control over its own technology and its own service revenue. Franchise owners want machines that actually work, and customers just want their dessert. Nobody in that chain necessarily set out to create a broken system. But when you stack all of those separate incentives on top of each other, this is roughly what you end up with. And that brings us to something bigger than one broken ice cream machine. Across the country, business owners and everyday consumers have been raising a similar complaint for years now, in industries that have nothing to do with fast food. It's usually called the right to repair movement. Farmers have run into it with tractors that require a manufacturer's approval before they can even be diagnosed. Car owners have run into it with vehicles that need proprietary software just to run a basic repair. Smartphone owners have run into it when a screen replacement voids the entire warranty. The complaint is almost always the same. You can legally own the machine, the tractor, the car, the phone, and still not have real access to the information. You'd need to fix it yourself. Ownership on paper, limited control in practice. Government regulators have taken notice of this pattern too. Around the time the Kytch story became public, an American consumer protection agency began asking McDonald's questions about its equipment policies as part of a broader review into whether manufacturers across several industries were making it unfairly difficult for owners to repair what they'd bought. That review is one small piece of a much larger national conversation, one that goes far beyond soft-serve machines. So here's where the story ends up. Almost nobody in this chain is a simple villain. Food safety rules exist for real reasons. Consistency matters to a brand operating thousands of locations. Manufacturers have a legitimate interest in protecting their own technology. But the franchise owner still pays the price when the machine goes down, and the customer standing at the counter has absolutely no idea any of this is happening. All they see is one line on a screen. This item is currently unavailable. That message became a joke because everyone has experienced it, but it became a story worth telling because it accidentally exposed something much bigger, hiding behind a $4 dessert. A modern machine that looks simple from the outside can sit inside a system that is anything but simple, filled with manufacturers, franchise agreements, service contracts, and control over information that decides who gets to fix what. Your phone isn't just hardware anymore. Your car isn't just an engine and four wheels. And apparently, a soft-serve machine isn't just a piece of metal in the corner of a kitchen. Modern ownership increasingly comes with an asterisk. You might own the object, while someone else still controls the knowledge required to keep it working. And maybe that's the real reason this story refuses to go away. You don't need to run a franchise to understand it. You don't need to be a lawyer or an engineer. You just need to have stood at a McDonald's counter once in your life and heard the same four words. Sorry, the machine's down. Somewhere right now, someone else is opening the McDonald's app, hoping for a McFlurry and finding that same message waiting for them. Maybe tomorrow the machine works. Maybe it doesn't, but now you know it was never really about the ice cream. It was always about who gets to control the machine. Enjoyed the journey? Subscribe for more stories about America's history, culture, business, and the hidden reasons that shaped the nation. Every place has a story.